Hi, everybody. It's Ryan here again, board certified specialist internist. Thank you for joining me. This is our fourth study summary. I'm super excited to be talking to you today about it. It's the ENHANCE trial. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I hope that you would consider that. This trial looked at simvastatin and ezetimibe in familial hypercholesterolemia. Okay, so this was taken from the NEJM, published in 2008 by Castellane et al. And the title is Simvastatin with or without ezetimibe in familial hypercholesterolemia. The key points from the study, the first one really is that patients who have familial hypercholesterolemia, and in these patients, simvastatin and ezetimibe combination therapy does not result in significant differences in carotid artery thickness in comparison to treatment with Simva alone. Right? But the second point is that this combination led to significantly greater reductions in low density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and C-reactive protein compared to treatment with Simva alone. The third finding was that there were no significant differences between the two groups in the rates of adverse events or drug discontinuation. So, a small rundown here. Ezetimibe, as we know, is a cholesterol absorption inhibitor that lowers plasma cholesterol by decreasing the amount of cholesterol absorption in the small intestine. This drug is often used in combination with statins, and this combination has been shown to further reduce LDL in comparison to statins alone. However, no prior large-scale randomized controlled trial has been conducted to assess the effect of adding ezetimibe to statins or atherosclerosis progression. In this enhanced trial, which stands for ezetimibe and simvastatin in hypercholesterolemia enhances atherosclerosis regression trial, 720 patients with familial hypercholesterolemia were randomized to receive either Simva with placebo or Simva with ezetimibe. Now, after 24 months of therapy, there was no significant difference between the groups in mean change in intima media thickness of the carotids. Nevertheless, patients that took combination therapy rather than Simva alone experienced greater reductions in LDL, trigs, and CRP. So, detail about the study, guys. It's a double-blind randomized controlled trial, which was published, like we said, in 2008 in the NEJM, was conducted in 18 centers worldwide, including the States, Canada, South Africa, Spain, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and the Netherlands. Now, patients who were eligible, if they were between 30 and 75 years of age and had been diagnosed with familial hypercholesterolemia, either by genotyping or by the WHO kind of diagnostic criteria. Exclusion criteria included them those patients who had high-grade stenosis or occlusion of the carotids pre-existing, history of carotid endarterectomy or stenting, homozygous familial hypercholesterolemia, New York Heart Association class 3 or 4 congestive heart failure, and cardiac arrhythmia. Now, all patients underwent a screening phase followed by a single blind 6-week placebo run-in period and a double-blind study lasting a duration of 24 months. Now, the primary outcome was the mean change in intima media thickness of the carotids as measured by ultrasonography of the carotid arteries. Okay, the results showed that of the 720 patients with familial hypercholesterolemia, they were randomized in two different groups. One group had simvastatin 80 milligram daily with placebo, and the second group was a combination group, which was simvastatin 80 milligram daily and ezetimibe 10 milligram daily. Now, in the simvastatin only group, the mean change in thickness was about 0.0058 plus or minus 0.0037 millimeters, while it was 0.0111 plus or minus 0.0038 millimeters in the simvastatin ezetimibe group, right, which was an insignificant difference of about 0.29. However, the patients in the combination group experienced 16.5% greater reduction in their LDL in comparison with the Simva-only group, and that was indeed statistically significant. And the next finding was that patients in the combination group also experienced significant greater reductions in trigs and in CRP versus simvastatin alone, with the value was quite significant. There were no significant differences between the two groups in the rates of adverse events and medication discontinuation. So just to reinforce, guys, in the combination group versus the Simva only group, there was no change, no significant difference in carotid artery thickness. However, the combination group did have significantly greater reductions in LDL, triglyceride, and CRP levels in comparison with the Simva only group. And there were also no significant differences between the two groups in rates of adverse events or drug discontinuation. Okay, my friends. Book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 12 says, no one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us and his love is made complete in us. No, God is love. And when you love others, you prove that you are a child of God. Um, Jesus said, "By this will all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one for another." Yeah, love is the quintessential, demonstrable characteristic of a disciple of Jesus and of a child of God. And I pray that we will love each other. Love everybody. Love your enemies. Love God. Love people. That is it. Here are my references. Hope to see you soon on our next study summary. God bless.